ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। My humble obeisances to all the devotees who have assembled for this program today. So, as discussed with the organizers, today we will be discussing on the topic of Ambarish Maharaj from the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Ambarish Maharaj is a great exalted devotee of the Supreme Lord, and he is known for his amazing services and consciousness and forgiveness and Vaishnava qualities, tolerance. So his story certainly inspires all the hearers with more devotion and more Vaishnava qualities. So his story in Bhagavatam is described in the 9th canto by Sukadeva Goswami, and especially the interactions that Ambarish Maharaj had with this sage Durvasa are really like make a great impression in the hearts of devotees. This is how a Vaishnava should be. Okay, so we will discuss this incident along with few qualities of Ambarish Maharaj today. So Ambarish Maharaj ruled the entire world, and although he has great opulence, inexhaustible wealth, still he did not care for it. Not that he was careless, not that he was irresponsible, but he was not attached to this wealth, because he understood that all this material wealth, fame, name, position, prestige, servants, palaces, treasure house, all these are temporary. One day I will have to give them up. So better not maintain any attachment to any of these things. So that was his mentality. He had great devotion to Lord Vasudeva, and we have this popular 3 shlokas that describe how Ambarish Maharaj utilized all his senses in the Lord's service. Savai manah Krishna padara vindayor vachamsi vaikuntha gunanuvarnani करौ हरेर्मन्दिरमार्जनादिषु श्रुतिं चकाराच्युत सत्खतोदये सवै मनः कृष्ण पदारविंदयोर. Ambarish Maharaj utilized his mind to always think of the lotus feet of the Lord. Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanuvarnane. He utilized his power of speech in describing the qualities of the Supreme Lord of Vaikuntha. He used his mind to meditate on Krishna. He used his words to glorify Krishna. Karau harer mandiramarjanadishu. He used his 2 hands to clean the temple of Krishna, of Lord Hari. Harer mandira marjanadishu. Shritim chakara chita satkathodaye. He used his ears to hear the beautiful glorification and pastimes of the Supreme Lord as spoken by devotees. Not just that, Mukundalingalaya darshane drishau tadbhritya gatra sparashenga sangamam घराणं च तत्पाद सरोज सौरभे श्रीमत् तुलस्या रसनां तदर्पिते. मुकुंद लिंगालय. Darshane Drishav, he used his eyes to go to the temple of the Lord and see the beautiful form of Lord Mukunda. Tad Bhritya Gatra Sparashe Angasangamam. He also utilized his body to touch the bodies of other devotees and embrace them with love, with affection, with friendship. So this is how he utilized his all bodily limbs. Okay, and Ghranam cha tatpada saroja saurabhe. Ghrana means nose. He utilized his nose to smell the fragrance emanating from the beautiful, colorful flowers that are offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. So we should utilize our nose to smell the tulasi leaves and to smell the flowers offered to Krishna. Okay. Srimat tulasya rasanam tadarpite. He also utilized his tongue to eat the prasadam offered to the Lord. Fine. So further, पादौ हरे क्षेत्र पदानुसर्पणे शिरो हृषिकेश पदाभिवंदने कामं च दास्येन तु काम काम्यया यथोत्तम श्लोक जनाश्रयारतिः. So पादौ हरेर kshetra padanusarpani. He utilized his legs to go to holy places where Krishna performed his pastimes. He would walk to Vrindavan. So like that, all there are different holy places. So he would go to those holy places with his feet. Then Shiro Hrishikesha Padadhivandane. He utilized his Shira, his head, to offer namaskar, to offer dandavats, to bow down in front of Lord Hrishikesha, means Lord Krishna. Kamam cha dasye natu kama kamyaya. He used his desires in the service of the Lord, not for his own enjoyment. Because means whatever he desires was in connection with Krishna's service. Okay, not for his own personal enjoyment or fulfill certain material desires that he has, because he has no material desires only. Okay, so then yathottama shloka janashraya ratihi, and he did all this to develop attachment for the Lord as possessed by great devotees. So in this way, Ambarish Maharaj was living a very royal, opulent, kingly life while dedicating himself completely to Krishna. So the lesson here is, we may have many responsibilities, we may have posts and positions and many things. Nothing wrong in having all these possessions, but we should not have possessiveness. We should not think ourselves to be the proprietors of whatever we have access to. We should understand Krishna is the supreme proprietor. I am just a humble menial servant of Krishna, and I should be utilizing whatever I have, whether it is body, senses, mind, intelligence, or property, opulences, riches. I should utilize everything in the Lord's service. So this is the mentality of a pure devotee like Ambarish Maharaj. Okay, so Ambarish Maharaj, although he was totally absorbed in the service of the Lord, he was not neglectful towards his duties as a king. A king is supposed to protect his citizens. A king is supposed to punish sinful people, criminals. A king is also supposed to uphold Varnashrama Dharma and Bhagavata Dharma in his kingdom. So he did the needful. So whatever a king is supposed to do, Ambarish Maharaj did that. Apart from his regular kingly duties, he was also inculcating the mode of devotion, bhakti, in his citizens, right? And he would rule the kingdom with the advice of genuine, learned Vaishnava Brahmanas. So some Brahmanas, some pure devotees are guiding him. So this is the harmony between Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. So they are the leaders of the society. Brahmanas are intellectuals, Kshatriyas are administrators. So administration has to be done with proper wisdom coming from the Shastras. Means kings must rule by taking guidance from the Brahmanas. They are the advisors. So any king, you take Dasarath Maharaj, Lord Ramachandra, you take any king, they have a group of advisors who are Brahmanas. They are detached. They will just guide the king, okay, and they don't want to sit on the throne. They will just give some suggestions and then move ahead with their own spiritual lives. And they will teach spiritual subject matters to kings and common people. Okay. So the ultimate proprietor of everything is Krishna, and a king is a temporary proprietor of Krishna's property for a short amount of time. And as long as he is seen as a proprietor of certain land or certain kingdom, he is supposed to take care of that kingdom responsibly and give that kingdom up when the right time comes. What is the right time? When another king is there ready to take over the kingdom responsibly. Okay, that's all. So we are not the lords of this material world. Earth belongs to the Lord. So now, under the guidance of such a Krishna conscious king, everyone can become a pure devotee. The material world can become spiritual world. Okay, so whatever is needed to maintain one's life, one's body in this world is taken care of, and there is spiritual inspiration provided. So spiritually, materially, everyone will be happy if one is under the rule of such a Krishna conscious king. Okay, so Ambarish Maharaj would also perform so many sacrifices. He would satisfy the Lord by performing different sacrifices. The sacrifice, yajna, is the process of pleasing the Lord. Something that we are supposed to do to serve the Lord. Okay, that is yajna. Okay, yajna is not meant to fulfill one's material desires. Yajna is an activity that is meant for the pleasure of the Lord and for the prosperity of citizens. So great kings like Ambarish Maharaj, Bharat Maharaj, they used to conduct, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, they used to conduct sacrifices not to go to heavenly planets. So they would perform sacrifices for providing rains and to worship the Lord, to express gratitude and for the prosperity of citizens. Okay, so, and they do it under the guidance of great Brahmanas. So then Ambarish Maharaj's citizens, they are also very fulfilled, very satisfied at heart. Swargona prarthito yasya manujair amara priyah srinvadbhir upagayadbhir uttama shloka chetasam. So these citizens of Ambarish Maharaj never aspired to go to heaven, which is dear to Devatas. They were accustomed to Srinvadbhir upagayadbhir. Srinvadbhir means to hear about Krishna. Upagayadbhir means to glorify Krishna. They are so attached to hearing and chanting about Krishna and not to go to heavenly planets or seeking liberation. When we are rooted in the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam, which are the core and most foundational practices in Bhakti Yoga, we don't develop any desires to enjoy on a material plane, even in heaven. Okay, so one should not divert one's attention towards temporary material pleasures, but one should focus on the permanent spiritual pleasure that one gets by serving the Lord, hearing about the Lord, and glorifying the Lord. What is the happiness of heaven in comparison to the happiness in hearing about Krishna? If only we have that taste, we should awaken that taste, we should develop that taste. Okay, so Ambarish Maharaj very dutifully ruled his kingdom. Sayittham bhakti yogena tapoyuktena parthivaha swadharmena harim priyanam sarvan kaman shanairjahau. So we see Sayittham bhakti yogena, Ambarish Maharaj by bhakti, by devotional service, and also performing some devotional austerities and doing his occupational duties nicely. Harim priyanam, he pleased Lord Hari completely. Sarvan kaman shanair jahau, he has gradually given up all material desires. He doesn't have only, okay, because of bhakti. So Ambarish Maharaj has no attachment for anything material. Griheshu dareshu suteshu bandhushu Dvipottamasyandanavaji vastushu Akshaya ratnabharanambaradishu Anantakosheshvakarot asanmatim. So griheshu means house, dareshu means wife, suteshu children, bandhushu relatives, friends, dvijopama means big elephants, next best elephants, Then Syandana, beautiful chariots. Vajivastushu means horses and whatever the king has. Akshaya Ratna, inexhaustible jewels, ornaments, garments. He has so much inexhaustible treasury he had, but everything is temporary. Everything is material. He realized that everything is material. Okay. So material possessions are ultimately temporary. They will leave us one day. So this is the understanding with which Ambarish Maharaj was ruling his kingdom. So one incident happened in Ambarish Maharaj's life. Ambarish and his queen, who is also equally qualified, they once observed the Ekadashi Vrata. Okay, so then they were in Vrindavan on the bank of Mathura, in Madhuvan to be specific, on the bank of Yamuna river. So they were at Madhuvan. They worshipped Lord Krishna by doing some Maha Abhishek and offering him clothes, ornaments, garlands, etc. And they worshipped the Brahmanas. They gave charity of cows to the Brahmanas. They had so many garlands. So like that, they performed Ekadashi Vrata. So that was Dwadashi day, and they were about to, Ambarish Maharaj was about to break his Ekadashi fast. Then a great sage named Durvasa Muni came there. And Durvasa Muni was very nicely welcomed by Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj said, oh, please come inside. Thank you so much for coming to my palace. So can you please eat your meals in my house? Then Durvasa Muni said, yes, of course, I can eat. But I would first go to Yamuna to take a bath, do some meditation, perform my rituals, then I'll come back after some time. Then Ambarish said, okay, fine, no problem, we'll wait for you. So Durvasa Muni went to take bath to Yamuna. And he was not coming very fast. He was delaying a lot. And Ambarish Maharaj was waiting. And when you do Ekadashi Vrata, there is some parent time. You need to break your fast in certain time. Okay. So then you will get the benefit of Ekadashi Vrata. And we need to respect that Ekadashi Vrata by honoring Prasad at a particular time. But the auspicious time of breaking his fast was passing by. Then that's a flaw in Ekadashi Vrata. So Ambarish Maharaj was thinking, if Durvasa Muni is delaying so much and it's a fast breaking time for me. Okay. But how can I eat before feeding my guest? So if I don't feed my guest and if I eat before him, that will be disrespect to the Brahman, to the sage, to Durvasa Muni. But if I if I don't eat, that is disrespecting the Ekadashi Vrata. But I am not following the rules of Ekadashi Vrata. What am I supposed to do? He was thinking a little bit. Then he thought, okay, I'll take little water. If I drink water, that is as good as breaking fast, and it is equivalent to not breaking fast also. He did not eat anything. I'll just one few drops of water I'll take. He just took that. Okay. So Ambarish Maharaj drank some water and waited for Durvasa Muni while meditating on the Lord. And after some time, Durvasa Muni came, and Durvasa Muni completed his noon rituals and then came here, noon rituals. And finally he came, and Ambarish Maharaj welcomed him nicely. And somehow Durvasa Muni, with his mystic power, understood that Ambarish Maharaj had drunk water. And he became furious. And he said, how can this Ambarish king eat before feeding me? This is a transgression of dharma. He is so cruel. He is not a devotee. He is intoxicated by his wealth. He is so proud and puffed up of his position. He thinks himself God. Before he feeds his guest, how can he eat? He has invited me to eat as a guest, but he has eaten first. He didn't eat. He just drank little water. But Durvasa Muni is highlighting this small thing that Ambarish Maharaj has done as a big offense. Okay, he said that I shall show him the result of his misbehavior. Okay, so Durvasa Muni criticized Ambarish Maharaj in this way, and actually Durvasa Muni although he is saying that Ambarish had pride, it was Durvasa Muni who was proud, not Ambarish Maharaj. Okay. How? Ambarish was a Kshatriya, Durvasa was a Brahman. Ambarish was a Grahastha householder, Durvasa was like a sannyasi, like a sage. So, from the perspective of Varna or Ashrama, I am superior to Ambarish. Right? I am coming from a higher Varna and higher Ashrama, and he is lower than me. That's what Durvasa was thinking. Durvasa looked down upon Ambarish Maharaj. But Krishna doesn't see our Varna or our Ashrama. Krishna only sees how much devotion we have. Okay. So, this calculation Durvasa did not have because he was just a mystic yogi. He was not a pure devotee. Right. So, Durvasa Muni wanted to kill Ambarish Maharaj for the so-called mistake that he has done. So, Durvasa created a fiery demon. He just uprooted a bunch of hair from his head and then threw it on the ground, and he created a fiery demon. He has that mystic power. So, problem is, people who have great powers or wealth or position or prestige or influence, if they don't have the right kind of mind control or sense control, they will misuse that power. They will create havoc in their own lives and others' lives. Okay. So, power without self-control is very dangerous. If you have power, but if you don't have the discrimination how to use that power, then that is dangerous. One may have some, everybody has some powers. Okay. One has simple facility for enjoyment. If one is not self-controlled, he may use those same facilities for enjoyment to ruin oneself, right? So, Durvasa Muni had so many mystic powers, but he did not have the right kind of discrimination to use those powers for the right purpose. He is using those powers against a pure devotee, to kill a pure devotee. He created a fiery demon, and that demon was completely made of fire. Our bodies are made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Okay. But that demon's body is made completely of fire only. And he was holding a trident. So that demon, fiery demon, attacked Ambarish Maharaj. He wanted to kill Ambarish Maharaj. But Ambarish Maharaj was not at all disturbed. He did not move even 1 millimeter from where he was standing. He was so fearless. He was so tolerant also. Fearlessness is at one level. Tolerance also is there in Ambarish Maharaj. So this Brahmana is chastising me and I must tolerate. So Ambarish Maharaj found some reason to see himself lesser or lower than Durvasa Muni. Okay. So now if another Kshatriya would have challenged Ambarish Maharaj, probably Ambarish Maharaj would have fought. But here is a sage, a sannyasi, a yogi, a Brahmana who is thinking of killing Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish said, I should not be counteracting this Brahmana at all. So, I should just tolerate it. He thought like that. So, this is pure devotee's tolerance. So, tolerance and also fearlessness. And one more thing is like Ambarish Maharaj did not even have to tolerate it because it is so natural for him. A pure devotee is completely fearless. They are not at all afraid of any dangers. As Lord Shiva said in the 6th canto, Narayana paraha sarve nakutaschana bibhyati swarga pavarga narakeshu apitulyartha darshinaha. So Narayana para, those who are dedicated to Lord Narayana, nakutaschana bibhyati, they are not fearful of anything. Okay. Swarga, apavarga, narakeshu, whether it is heaven or hell or liberation, whatever may be the state, they are tulyartha darshinaha. They are very equipoised. They have no fear. Okay. So sometimes devotees are tormented by materialistic people and sometimes yogis, sometimes demons. But the devotees fully depend on the Lord's mercy and they remain tolerant and undisturbed. They don't deviate from their faith in the Lord's protection. We see in the case of Prahalad also. So Prahalad Maharaj was threatened in so many ways. by his own father Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu has appointed so many demons to kill the tender body of Prahalad, 5-year-old child. But Prahalad was not at all afraid. He was completely dependent on the Lord. So there was no fear in Prahalad's heart. So a devotee who is totally dependent on the Lord, always thinking of the Lord, and totally detached, is always protected by the Lord. Okay, devotee is not doing anything to save himself, and is not even hating or becoming angry with the opponent. So the Lord says that, Lord thinks that it is my responsibility to protect my devotee. So Prahalad did not defend himself. When Hiranyakashipu or his soldiers are coming with some weapons to attack Prahalad, Prahalad did not take any weapon to fight back with them. Because they are elders. He is my father. How can I fight? I can speak, but I cannot fight. So he was just keeping quiet. So Lord Vishnu took it as his responsibility and he protected Prahalad. Here also in Ambarish case also, Lord Vishnu took it as his responsibility. He has sent his Sudarshana Chakra. Not just now. Impressed with Ambarish Maharaj's devotion, Lord Vishnu has given his Sudarshan Chakra to Ambarish Maharaj. Sudarshan Chakra was staying with Ambarish Maharaj only to always protect him. Okay, so Sudarshan Chakra immediately came into action. So the Lord holds 4 things: Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Okay, so all these 4 things he utilizes to create auspiciousness for his devotees. Shankha and Padma, they are very pleasant. So the Lord blesses the devotees with that. Okay, so the Lord would touch the conch shell to the head of Dhruva Maharaj to give him all all the knowledge, Vedic knowledge. Okay, the Lord utilizes his Gada to protect his devotees. There is one shloka spoken by Yamaraj in the 6th canto of Bhagavatam, Ajamil episode. He says that Kaumodaki, no, this is 3rd canto shloka, and this is also important. We will discuss this also. Kaumodaki bhagavato daitam smareta digdhamarati bhatasho anita kardamena mala madhuvrata varotha giropagushtam chaityasya tattvamamalam manimasya kanthe. So the Gada, Kaumodaki Gada of the Lord is always tainted with the blood of demons. Okay. Why? These demons torment the devotees. So this Gada constantly circles around the devotees and punishes those demons who are coming in the circle. Okay. So when the demons try to attack or harm the devotees, Lord's Kaumodaki Gada hits them, punishes them. So Yamaraj says, going back to Yamaraj's shloka, he says, Te deva siddha parigita pavitra gatha ye sadhavaha samadrsho bhagavat prapannaha tannopasidata harer gadaya bhiguptan naisham vayam nachavayaha prabhavama dande. Once Yamaraj told Yamadutas, oh dear Yamadutas, you should never approach devotees. Te deva siddha parigita pavitra gatha. Their pavitra gathas are their divine qualities and activities are narrated and glorified even by great personalities. Okay. Te deva siddha parigita pavitra gatha. Siddhas and sages also glorify the devotees. Okay. Yes, sadhavaha samadrusho bhagavat prapanna. They are completely surrendered to sadhus. They are sadhus that completely surrendered to the Lord. Okay. Tannopasidata, please don't approach them. Harir gadaya bhiguptan, they are constantly protected by Lord Hari's Gada. So I can't approach them. Yamaraj cannot approach them. Brahma cannot approach them. Even the time factor also cannot approach them. So this is the speciality of the devotees. So now the Lord appoints his Gada to protect his devotees. The Lord also appoints his Sudarshan Chakra to protect his devotees. Okay. So here is an example of Ambarish Maharaj, where the Lord appointed his Sudarshan Chakra to protect his devotees. So Sudarshan Chakra came forward. So Sudarshan Chakra came and burnt that fiery demon to ashes. Okay. Now fire is burnt. Fire burns everything and everyone, but here the fire is burnt. If fire is burnt, you will not get ash, right? You will get nothing. But it's just a convention of saying that it's burnt to ashes. So Sudarshan Chakra came in front of Sudarshan Chakra's power. What is this fiery demon and his fiery trident? After all, it's a material fire created by a yogi. But Sudarshan Chakra is the spiritual weapon of the Lord. Okay. So Sudarshan is a personality. So Ambarish Maharaj was protected. Although he did not do anything to protect himself, the Lord did the needful to protect Ambarish Maharaj. Okay. So the Lord is known for his affection for his devotees. Bhritya Rakshayam, Bhritya Vashyata, Bhakta Vashyata, Bhakta Vatsalyata. So these are certain words that are used to describe the qualities of the Lord. So Sudarshan Chakra burned that fiery demon immediately, just as forest fire burns an angry snake. So then, you see, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchah. Krishna also says, Name bhaktaha pranasyati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhaktaha pranasyati. My devotee will never perish. I will always protect my devotee. This is Lord's promise. And aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. I will protect all my devotees from their sinful reactions also. Now Ambarish is completely sinless. Why would the Lord not protect? Okay. So a devotee's faith in the Lord is the kavach, is the armor that protects the devotee from all sides. So Ambarish Maharaj did not even request Sudarshan Chakra to protect him. Hey, if any demon is coming, oh Sudarshan Chakra, please come and protect. Thank you. He did not say that. He was just sitting there, standing there with folded hands, not doing anything, not at all affected by this fiery demon. He was just simply thinking of the Lord. He was thinking that if the Lord has arranged this situation in my life through this Brahmana, let me experience it. A devotee's nature is not to harm anyone. Even if other people harm him, the devotee doesn't harm him. Right? So we should not hate even those people who hate us. If needed, we may take some action to protect ourselves from their hatred, but we should not hate them. Okay? Anyone who has hatred or envy in the heart cannot be a pure devotee. If you are aspiring to become pure devotees of the Lord, we should give up consciously, we should give up that hatred for anybody. Even if those people are harming us, we should not have any grudge or negativity or hatred towards them. There is a very, very important message of Srimad Bhagavatam that is repeatedly seen in the characters of pure devotees. Right? So Durvasa Muni became surprised. My God, I have created a fiery demon. Suddenly Sudarshan Chakra came. So Durvasa Muni understands Sudarshan Chakra's potency. This is Lord Vishnu's weapon. Means Lord Vishnu has disapproved my act of killing, trying to kill this Ambarish Maharaj. So then he was completely frightened. And Sudarshan Chakra did not just stop at killing the fiery demon. Sudarshan Chakra went forward to kill Durvasa Muni also. Durvasa Muni understood, oh, Sudarshan Chakra is coming to attack me, he just ran away. So he ran swiftly and Sudarshan Chakra started chasing him. From here, the chase begins. Durvasa Muni ran and entered into a cave of Mount Meru, Sumeru mountain. He can even fly also, he's a yogi, right? So Sudarshan Chakra came there also. Then Durvasa Muni fled in all directions, in the sky, earth, caves, ocean, planets, heaven. He went everywhere. Sudarshan Chakra was chasing. Sudarshan Chakra has no limits. It's not that Sudarshan Chakra cannot enter certain place. Sudarshan Chakra can enter any part of this material creation or spiritual creation. Okay. So Durvasa Muni did not find any shelter anywhere. So he ultimately went to Brahmalok. He said, Brahma, please protect me, Sudarshan is coming to destroy me. Then Brahma said, Durvasa Muni, Lord Vishnu, in the form of his time, can destroy even all the planets, right? Even I also get affected by the influence of time. So myself, Shiva, Daksha, Bhrigu, Narada, sages, Prajapatis, Devatas, everybody, all of us are surrendered to Vishnu, and we carry out his orders, and we are his obedient servants. If he has taken a decision to punish you in a certain way, who am I to stop it? I have no capability to stop it. I am not independent at all. I am totally dependent on the Lord. I don't have any independence to protect you. Then Durvasmuni ran to Kailasa, and he went to Shiva. And Shiva also told Durvasmuni the same thing. Hey, myself, Brahma, all the Devatas, we all are dependent on the Lord. So the Lord is supreme. Myself, Sanat Kumar, Narada Muni, Brahma, Kapila, Vyasa, Devala, Yamaraj, Asuri, everybody, we are all surrendered to the Lord and we glorify the Lord. Although we know past, present and future in some way, but we are under the influence of Lord's Maya. Many times we are covered by Lord's Maya. So we have no independence. If the Lord has taken a decision to punish you in a certain way, we cannot interfere. So Shiva, Brahma, all these devatas have given boons, benedictions to our demons, many demons like Ravana and all. When Ram had taken a decision to kill Ravana, did Shiva come and protect him? Did Brahma come and protect him? When Narasimhadev has taken a decision to kill Hiranyakashipu, did Brahma come and pray, please don't protect him, don't kill him? When Varahadev has taken a decision to kill Hiranyaksha, did Brahma come and protect him? Hiranyaksha worshipped Brahma. Hiranyakashipu worshipped Brahma. Brahma has given boons to both of them. But when Varahadev was trying to kill Hiranyaksha, Brahma came there and said, "Oh Lord, please kill him fast. Do it as soon as possible. Don't delay. Don't play with him so much. He's like a serpent. He's very envious. He has taken boons from me and is tormenting the whole universe. You should kill him immediately." And Brahma, who has given boons to a demon, is praying for the death of the demon. So when somebody goes against Lord Vishnu, or when Lord Vishnu wants to take an action against someone, no devata can protect. Whether it is Brahma, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Maruts, Shiva, anyone. Yam Brahma Varunindra Rudra Barutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedaihi Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidursura suragana devaya tasmai namaha. All these great devatas go on the shore of milk ocean and worship Lord Vishnu, offer prayers to Lord Vishnu. All the Vedas, Upanishads, they are glorifying the Lord. So no one can understand his glories, no one can go against him, right? So in this way, Shiva also refused. Brahma refused to protect Durvasa. Shiva also refused to protect Durvasa. Then who else can protect? If Brahma and Shiva said no, Indra, Agni, Vayu, these people definitely cannot have any capacity to protect Durvasa. Durvasa understood that this much. He thought only Vishnu can protect me. Durvasa went to Vaikuntha. He had the ability to even go to Vaikuntha. By the way, Durvasa could not stay in Vaikuntha. He just visited Vaikuntha to protect his own life. So although he went to Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha is a place where there is Lord, where there are no miseries. So Vaikuntha is a place where there are no miseries, but even while in Vaikuntha, Durvasa Muni was miserable. He was trying to protect his life. So probably he did not completely understand the difference between body and mind, at least at that moment. Okay, body is temporary. So even after going to Vaikuntha, he is praying for his body. May my body be protected. Okay. So Lord Vishnu saw him. Durvasa Muni fell at the feet of Vishnu and said, "Oh Lord, oh Achyuta, oh Ananta, please protect me. You are well-wisher of entire universe. You are Vishwa Bhavana. You are Vidhata. So please protect me." So, you know what Vishnu said? He said, "Durvasa Muni, when you went to Shiva and Brahma, what did they say? They said that they don't have any independence. They are dependent on me. I am giving the same answer. I also don't have any independence. I am dependent on my devotees. Aham bhakta paradhino hyasvatantra iva dvija sadhubhirgrasta hridayo bhaktair bhakta janapriyaha. Aham bhakta paradhino, I am under adhina. I am under the control of my devotees. Asvatantra iva dvijaha, I have no independence at all. Swatantrata means independence. Aswatantra means no independence. Totally dependent on the Lord. I am fully dependent on my devotees. 2 times he said, Bhakta para adhino aswatantra. Adhina aswatantra. I am under their control and I have no independence. 2 times the Lord admitted in this shloka that he is dependent on his devotees. Sadhubhir grasta hardayo. Again he is saying, my heart is controlled. Grasta means to be under the subjugation. My heart is completely under the control of my pure devotees who are devoid of any material desires. Then finally he says, Bhaktair Bhakta Janapriyaha. I am very dear to my devotees and my devotees are very dear to me. So if someone tries to harm my devotees, my dear devotees, how can I favor them? Don't you have common sense? How can you pray for protection? You try to kill my devotee. So, if someone receives the mercy of a devotee, then automatically he receives the mercy of Krishna. But if someone tries to harm a devotee, naturally that person becomes subjected to the wrath of the Lord, the anger of the Lord, the strictness of the Lord. The Lord is kind. The Lord is very, very compassionate and merciful. Kamva dayalum sharanam vrajema. What is that shloka? Ahovakiyam stanakalakutam jighamsaya payayadapya sadhvi lebhe gatim dhatrichitam tatonyam kamva dayalum sharanam vrajema. So, the Lord has given the position of a mother to Putana who tried to kill him. Okay. So, if this is what the Lord bestows upon a Rakshasi, what to speak of devotees. So, no one can be as merciful as the Lord. But that merciful Lord can become strict with someone if that someone offends a devotee. Okay. What hurts the heart of the Lord is offense to a devotee. So, now the Lord further says, Naham atmanam ashase madbhaktaihi sadhubhirvina shriyam chatyanti kim brahman esham gatiraham para. Naham atmanam ashase. I don't desire my own bliss. Without my devotees, even my Vaikuntha cannot give me any happiness. So happiness is there in sharing whatever opulences the Lord has with his devotees. That's where he relishes. Now Mother Yashoda packs some special food for Krishna. Okay. So Krishna doesn't eat it alone. He sits in the midst of hundreds and thousands of group of friends and he would eat with them. While eating, he tastes something and he says, oh, this is very nice, very sweet. You please eat. And he would put it in the mouth of his friend. And his friend also eats something and he would put it in the mouth of Krishna. Now, everybody can eat their own lunch bags, right? So they can sit at different corners and they will eat their own food. Okay? That doesn't give any satisfaction. Happiness is in sharing. Happiness is there in Sangha, in association. Nobody can experience any happiness alone, even in material circles also, right? What to speak of spiritual circles? Spiritual pleasure is experienced by sharing Harikatha with other devotees, by sharing Krishna Prasadam with other devotees, by having some loving, friendly exchanges with other devotees, by serving together with other devotees. This is how real spiritual pleasure is supposed to be experienced. Even after getting the darshan of the Lord, several pure devotees are praying for the association of devotees, isn't it? So they understand whether it is Dhruva Maharaj or Kunti Maharani or Shiva or Prachetas or Prithu Maharaj or Prahalad Maharaj, whoever it may be, they always desired association of other devotees, like-minded devotees, in whose company their Krishna consciousness is enhanced, in whose company, what exactly is Vaishnava Sangha, what exactly is the association of devotees, that company, that association that brings us one step closer to Krishna, that makes us Krishna conscious, that gives us opportunities to render service to Krishna. So if we have the right mood in seeking association, and if the association is vibrant enough to facilitate our absorption in Krishna, we can easily approach Krishna fast. Okay, so even the Lord also enjoys the company of devotees. So without devotees, the Lord also feels very empty. So I cannot enjoy my 6 great opulences without my devotees. So only jnanis, they want to stay alone in some caves, because whenever jnanis come together, they have differences of opinion. They keep fighting, they keep arguing. They do a lot of grammatical analysis, philosophical analysis, and they keep bothering others also with their arguments. Unless they defeat others' arguments and establish their own point, they cannot be called as scholars. There is Mahabharata, there is some statement, shloka. Nasa vrishiryasya matam na bhinnam. Okay, so unless you disagree with another philosopher, you cannot be established as a philosopher. So this is what jnanis are. Generally, they can't come together. If they come together, there is quarrel, there is argument. That's why they stay away from each other. But devotees are not like that. Bhakti Devi. So Bhakti Devi, the goddess of devotion, likes to be decorated with so many ornaments, bangles and necklaces that represent devotees. Okay. So devotees, when they come together, they work in unity, they serve together the Lord. There may be differences of opinion, there may be different working styles, there may be different priorities. Because of that, there may be some sometimes clashes also. That's fine. Small things keep happening. But point is, the association of devotees is the source of great spiritual pleasure for a sincere sadhaka. Okay, so that's the source of great pleasure even for Krishna. Okay, so to make our companies with other devotees very vibrant and spiritually enlivening, we should constantly try to induce Krishna Katha there. So we should come together and discuss Harikatha. We come together to discuss about service and discuss about 100 different things. But when we come together to discuss Harikatha, to describe the qualities of Krishna, to describe the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela of Krishna, that brings us much closer. Okay, not that we don't do other things, but this also is very, very important. Okay, interactions with other devotees with Krishna Katha in the center. Mat chitta, madgata prana, bodhayantaha parasparam, parasparano kathanam pavanam bhagavadyashaha. And this is the center of our interactions, then that company of devotees will give great pleasure. So now the Lord said, without my devotees even I cannot enjoy, and without devotees, devotees cannot enjoy. So I cannot spare your life. Now the Lord says, Yedaragra putrapta pranan vittam imam param hitva mam sharanam yataha katham tam styaktum utsahi. My devotees give up their home, their relatives, their riches, their this and that, everything for my sake. They have no material desires. Have you given up anything for me? You are a yogi, you are a great Brahmana. You have not given up anything, but my devotees give up everything for my sake. That is the difference between a Brahmana and a Vaishnava. Brahmana can be a Vaishnava. If the Brahmana only does Brahmanical duties, but without having any devotion to the Lord, then that Brahmana is materialistic. Okay, it's external. So Here Lord Vishnu says further, Mayi nirbadha hridayah sadhavah samadarshanaah Vashe kurvanti mam bhaktya satstriyah satpatim yatha. Mayi nirbadha hridayah. The devotees are fully attached to me within their hearts. Thus they bring my heart under their full control. Okay. Not the devotees want to control the Lord, but the Lord is happy to come under the control of devotees. Okay, because of their sincere love and affection, the Lord feels that I must be in their control. Without coming under their control, I cannot enjoy. Just like chaste women bring their gentle husbands under their control, chaste devotees bring the Supreme Lord under their control. Okay, the Lord voluntarily comes under control of devotees. Okay, and further the Lord says that they are always satisfied in my loving service. My devotees are not interested even in liberation also. Mat sevaya pratitam te salokyadi chatushtayam nechanti sevaya purna kutonyat kala viplutam. So if they don't even desire liberation, personal liberations of salokya, saripya, samipya, sarishti, which are automatically achieved by their service, why would they desire for perishable happiness of heaven? So finally the Lord will give his great shloka. Sadhava hridayam mahyam sadhunam hridayam tvaham madanyatte na jananti naham tebhyo managapi. Sadhava hridayam mahyam. A devotee is always there within my heart. Sadhunam hridayam tu aham. I am always there in their hearts. Madanyatte na janati. My devotees don't know anything other than me. And naham tebhyo managapi. And I don't know anyone else other than them. This is our close relationship. Now Durvasa had a doubt. I have heard another shloka. What is that? Namo brahmanya devaya go brahmana hitaya cha. My dear Lord, I have heard that you are brahmanya devaya. You like brahmanas. Then the Lord said, yeah, I like brahmanas, correct. But not more than my devotees. If a brahmana happens to be my devotee, I love him so much. But if the brahmana only has a brahmanical qualities and he has no devotion to me, he cannot be as dear to me as a Vaishnava. Okay. So, devotees are in my heart. By trying to afflict my devotee, Ambarish, you have afflicted my heart. So, where is Ambarish? What is Ambarish Maharaj's address? His address is the heart of Vishnu. So, Ambarish, or Durvasa tried to kill Ambarish, means the Lord's heart is hurt. He attacked the Lord's heart. And Durvasa said, oh, I have offended you. I am sorry. I beg forgiveness from you. Then Vishnu said, no, not me. I am not here. I am not in Vaikuntha. I am there in Ambarish Maharaj's heart. When you offended Ambarish Maharaj, you have hurt my heart. You want to say sorry to me? I am not here. I am in Ambarish's heart. You should go to Ambarish and fall at his feet. Then I will forgive you there. From there. Not sitting in Vaikuntha, but sitting in Ambarish's heart. Okay. So, go and please Ambarish. Then Durvasa said that, but don't you see his fault? He invited me to eat, but he ate before feeding me. Then Vishnu said, they don't know anything other than me. Whatever I inspire Ambarish Maharaj to do, that only he will do. Then Durvasa said, you have inspired him to eat before feeding me? What do you think? Which is better? Like respecting the Brahmana or following the Ekadashi Vrata? Following Dwadashi Parantime? Which is more respectable dharma? You tell me. Then Vishnu said, you are so ignorant of scriptural conclusions. Go and ask Ambarish. He will teach you. According to Shrutis, drinking water is considered eating and not eating also. So, Ambarish Maharaj just drank water that is equivalent to eating, thus he respected Ekadashi Vrata. And Ambarish Maharaj drank water that is equivalent to not eating and he respected you as a Brahmana guest also. He fulfilled both criteria and you don't know Shastras properly. You thought that drinking is like eating. So, you go and take some input from him, then you will be enlightened. So then after such a long discussion, Ambarish Maharaj thought, oh my God, Durvasa thought I should go to Ambarish Maharaj. So there is more discussion because there is no time. I'll just conclude here. So Durvasa Muni just ran to Ambarish Maharaj and fell at his feet. Okay, and Ambarish Maharaj was so embarrassed to see a great yogi, a great Brahmana, as he is falling at his feet. He became quite embarrassed, and he took himself back and he offered prayers to Sudarshan Chakra. Sudarshan Chakra, in exchange of all my pious credits and spiritual credits, please spare the life of this Brahmana. Here is Durvasa Muni who tried to kill Ambarish Maharaj, but Ambarish Maharaj is protecting his life in exchange of all his spiritual credits, all his pious credits. Okay, so to this degree a devotee can be selfless. To this degree a devotee can be forgiving. So that forgiveness makes a devotee shine in the eyes of the Lord. So one should forgive even great offenders. Of course, one may take an action, appropriate action. Externally, you may address the situation, but internally, that quality of forgiveness has to be there. Okay, so one should not hold any grudge towards others, even if they try to harm us. So, after all, everybody is a child of God. But some children are little mischievous, little naughty, like Durvasa Muni. So Ambarish Maharaj did not have any negativity. And another important quality is Ambarish Maharaj did not take any credit. Later, after protecting Durvasa Muni, Ambarish Maharaj did not think that, oh, I have protected you. You are about to die. I protected you. He did not say like that. He did not take any credit for protecting Durvasa Muni. So this is the humility of the Lord. So I just requested and begged the Lord to protect him, and the Lord protected him. And the sage didn't deserve to be killed. So he did not say, I have exchanged all my spiritual credits and pious credits. So devotee is one who does unlimited service to the Lord, and he also works for the welfare of common living beings, but he has absolutely no sense of doership mentality. He doesn't have a sense of doership mentality. He doesn't want to take credit for what he has done for others. So this is the nature of devotees, and Ambarish Maharaj's kindness completely moved the heart of Durvasa Muni, and Durvasa Muni said that devotees are so glorious. What is impossible for devotees? Dushkaraha konu sadhunam dustyajo va mahatmanam. What is impossible for devotees to give up? They are not attached to anything. What is impossible? What offense is impossible for devotees to overlook? We can't take someone's, even if somebody intends to offend us and harm us, it's naturally we get affected. We are not so pure. At least I am not so pure. We may get affected, but we should try and pray to Krishna for the ability to forgive. Krishna, please give me the ability to forgive. Please let me not be overly affected by this unpleasant treatment. Let me consider this as a reaction to my own past deeds. Let me see your hand in the whole situation. So this is how devotees want to keep their hearts cleansed of any negative feelings, bitter feelings towards other living entities, even if they are exhibiting some inappropriate behavior, right? So Ambarish Maharaj, after this whole incident, what Ambarish Maharaj was thinking, Durvasa Muni, I invited you to take prasad in my house. I could not feed. 1 year Durvasa Muni is doing Brahmanda Brahman. He is going to Kailasha, he is going to Satyaloka, he is going to Vaikuntha. But he was also not eating anything. And Ambarish Maharaj also did not eat anything for 1 year. So finally, he requested Durvasa Muni, and Durvasa Muni was surprised. 1 year he didn't eat anything. So he said, okay, fine, you can feed me now. So Ambarish Maharaj fed Durvasa Muni ate, and after that, Durvasa Muni requested Ambarish Maharaj, you also please eat. So that's how the incident ended. There are many more finer nuances and lessons in this beautiful incident, very instructive pastime that describes the glory of a Vaishnava and the quality of forgiveness and the dangers of Vaishnava Aparadh. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Your Grace. Thank you so much for the beautiful discourse on Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. Thank you once again. So Prabhu, we can take 1 or 2 questions. I'm just going to allow the devotees to unmute or leave their questions in the chat box.
The best sacrifice in this age is Sankirtana Yajna, according to scriptures. So the sacrifice of chanting the holy names of the Lord along with other devotees, which is called Sankirtana Yajna. So that is the best sacrifice. Normally when
can we perform Agni Otra sacrifices? It comes with
the context, but the question is best sacrifice. Best sacrifice is Sankirtan Yajna. Whether we perform other kinds of sacrifices, it depends on the context and the necessity and the culture, other things. Okay. Normally when the rishis or manis curse someone, it immediately takes effect due to the power of their austerity. Does the same happen when someone curses in Kaliga? No, it doesn't happen. Kaliga people are not that powerful. Okay. Durvasa is a mystic yogi. Why his senses are not under control? Why getting angry very fast? Yeah, the answer is that devotional austerities. He's a tapasvi, he's a yogi. He did so many austerities. Okay. Devotional austerities will not lead to anger. But non-devotional austerities and austerities to gain some mystic powers, austerities for other kinds of purposes, they can induce anger. So austerity also has an element of anger. Now, for example, Vishwamitra, he did austerities for thousands of years. Okay, when Rambha came, he became angry and he cursed her. When Menaka came, he became lusty. So austerities that are done to satisfy the Supreme Lord as a service to the Lord, they will eradicate all the anarthas in the devotees. But non-devotional austerities or austerities done for other purposes, they are not. They may not ensure reduction in anger. Okay.
From Divya Mataji, Prabhuji, if yogi gets angry, how can he get Siddhi to go various planets?
Now, he goes to various planets not to stay there, but to visit. So he went to Vaikuntha as a visitor, just like Charis gives this example. Sometimes a circus man or a joker, he may bring some lions and tigers, monkeys, some animals to the king's darbar. Okay, for 1 hour show. There is 1 hour show, and he will just make all the animals go here and there, do some magic there, and the king also enjoys. But these animals will not stay forever within the king's darbar only. So Durvasa Muni's entrance into Vaikuntha or other lokas is only a visit, and in one sense it is also to highlight the message that the Lord wanted to give through this Ambarish episode. Right? Even though Durvasa Muni went to Vaikuntha all the way, he was not protected. The Lord only sanctioned Durvasa Muni's entrance into Vaikuntha only to glorify Ambarish Maharaj. Okay, only to give the lesson that he wanted to give through this pastime. Next.
I have a question, like someone sent me. Should we completely depend on the Lord to protect ourselves, or while depending on the Lord, should we use our intelligence to come out from the calamities?
We must use our God-given intelligence to save ourselves. And when things are beyond our control, when situation is beyond our control, we completely surrender to the Lord. Even when we are using our intelligence to protect ourselves, that is also dependence on the Lord only. Our intelligence is coming from the Lord. Mattaha smritir jnanam apohanam cha. So first option is to use God-given intelligence and resources to save ourselves from any calamities. Okay, just like Vasudeva, this pastime where Kamsa heard this Akashavani that Devaki's 8th child will kill Kamsa, and Kamsa immediately picked up a sword to chop off the head of Devaki. Vasudeva was not thinking, okay, it's all God's grace. If he likes, he will come and protect. I will not do anything. No, he tried to protect Mother Devaki by having a long discussion, prolonged discussion with Kamsa. Okay, so we have to try. We have to put our human effort We have to use our intelligence and resources and even sensual strength, also physical strength also, to save ourselves from calamities as much as possible. Okay, and rest, leave it to the Lord. But in Ambarish Maharaj's case, he did not do so because the person who is attacking him is a sage, is a Brahmana. He respected him for that position. He respected that culture. Okay, and the Lord took it upon him, and then he tried to save Ambarish Maharaj. Okay, but if some other Kshatriya was there, Ambarish Maharaj would have fought against. So tolerance does not mean we allow ourselves to get exploited unnecessarily. Okay, but when some troubles or some issues come from some certain sources, right, which are superior, which are higher than ourselves in some perspective, we may try to, we may not take an action, we may not counteract or respond. Okay, so
Thanks.
next.
Another one from Jnana Pragasan Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu, if I take actions to defend myself, am I not depending on the Lord? How can I draw the line? I think this question you have addressed it, Prabhu. And
Yeah,
next one, can nowadays devotees get the same protection as King Ambarish?
depends on their faith levels. If we have devotion like Ambarish Maharaj, if we have faith in the Lord like Ambarish Maharaj, if our bhakti for Krishna is on the level of Ambarish Maharaj, why not? Whichever may be the yuga, we'll get protection from the Lord. Okay. Ambarish Maharaj did everything. Savai Manaha Krishna Padara Vindiyar. We have discussed first half of the class is about the qualities of Ambarish Maharaj, activities of Ambarish Maharaj. If you are on that level, we will get protection from Krishna now also. Maybe in a different flavor.
I think that's all the questions we have for today, Prabhu. So thank you so much, Your Grace, once again. We will meet in the next class in a different topic. Thank you so much once again, Your Grace. So with that, Sid Matthew, come to the end of our session. Thank you for joining us today. We will see you again in the next week with a different topic. All glories to their Lordships, Sri Lakshmi Narayana. All glories to Sri Radha Madhava Ashtasakis. All glories to Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. All glories to Sri Gauranikai. All glories to the Sambardaya Acharyas. All glories to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhus and Matujis.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji. Thank you,
Haribo.
Mataji.
Haribo.